Podcast City Network.
Listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to The Everett Lee Show. A shot of entertainment to the head. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the entertainment.
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Everett Lee Show, 2019 edition. I am back, baby. I want to give a shout out to everyone who follows me on Twitter. You can follow me at the Everett Lee, Facebook.com/Everett Lee. Click that thumbs up. And of course, Podcast City Network, the official host of the Everett Lee Show. I am so happy to be back, kicking 2019 off with my guest today. I have on the line right now, she is pro wrestler Hannah Hartkopf. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I could be doing better with Skype not giving me shit.
Yeah. Oh, we're allowed to curse on here?
Yeah. No filter. No filter. Yeah, I forgot to mention that before we went live.
That's all right. I try not to. I can curse worse than a sailor, and I've got a mind worse than a sailor, so.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. What have I gotten myself into today?
Oh, don't worry. I try to behave on these podcasts and stuff, but when you come to my bar and stuff and I'm bartending, like, yeah, no, you'll be hearing stuff out of my mouth that you'll just be like, what?
Of course. So how was your new year? How was ending 2018 for you?
Oh, I mean, when you're working and making money, I mean, it's always great in my opinion, you know what I mean? I'm the life of the party, and, and everyone came to the bar, and I was the only one behind the bar, and that was a lot of fun, so I'm just going to say that.
That's awesome. That is.
But wrestling, but wrestling-wise, though, everything, was good. I moved back from Florida to back to Ohio and everything. And, and that was just, an awesome trip, just being down in Florida. I absolutely miss it. And, but yeah, it's been one crazy ride so far.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. Yeah, I thought you lived in Orlando. I didn't know you moved right back to Ohio.
Yep.
I also, it's fun. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit. Can you repeat that?
I said I actually lived in Ohio at one point. Lived in Cambridge. I spent 5 years there.
Cambridge, boy, that sounds familiar. Is that by Columbus?
Yeah, it's east.
Oh, Columbus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's about east of Columbus.
I don't even really know. I'm just from the 419 area, and and I grew up in Perrysburg in this Richie suburb, and then I ended up moving to Wyoming, then I moved to Michigan, and then I moved to southern Ohio, and then down to Florida, and then back up to Ohio, and I've been quite everywhere.
You've been all over the place, kind of like me growing up, just all over the place, mostly on the East Coast, up and down. I think the furthest north I've ever traveled is New York.
Oh, yeah. God, New York City, that's one heck of a city, I'll just say that. No, but I never really moved around a lot when I was younger. It was mostly that, ever since I turned 18, I was like, I gotta go. I gotta go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what I love about pro wrestling is you just never know where it's going to take you, and you might end up being somewhere for a while, or you might end up being there only for a little bit, and you get out of that, and you do this, and you do that. It's awesome. That's why I love to travel.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people, I think it's hilarious when they're like, oh my God, driving 2 hours away. Oh, it's so oh my God. And I just look at them like, are you kidding me? I would love to drive 2 hours away and that would be it. No, there's times where you got to drive, between 5 to 10 hours one way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, traveling up and down with promotions and stuff, I mean, you go where the work is, right? You basically...
Sorry, you just got to speak up. I'm kind of deaf.
No. You travel where the work is, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like you said, growing up, you pretty much grew up in where at?
Oh, in Perrysburg.
Perrysburg.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, now it's exploded now with development, but it's just this Richie suburb town that, like, put it this way, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I love Perrysburg, but I hate Perrysburg at the same time because, like, just because you got a lot of money and everything, which, that's what, my parents had and everything, until, I got away from it because I was like, I don't want to be a part of that life. Just because you've got money doesn't mean that you're the best. I can tell you that right now. And just because you have money doesn't mean that you're going to go and get to the places of where you need to get to go. I just wish I had all this confidence back in, like, school and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Because, back in, like, school where, if you don't have the name brands and all this bull, like, just all that stupid stuff, right? Nowadays, I'm just like, people, pull that with me right now. I'll deck you out right now. I do not care. You know what I mean? You just don't do that type of stuff. As long as people take showers and are clean and stuff like that, and are working hard and doing what they got to do, that's it. Especially when our football team was the most pathetic team around. Like, I remember my freshman year, we won maybe 2 games and that was it. Like, it was, but yeah. Now, Perrysburg is just I can go so much with Perrysburg, because especially, like, with their taxes and everything, so that's not going to... We're getting away from the wrestling.
Yes.
Part.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, exactly. But I will say this, though. I do represent the 419 because I do got, my friends out in Maumee. I got my friends out in Toledo. I've got, especially, my girl Brandy and everything like that. Hey, girl. But, like... I got to represent all my other people. That's why I, with all my, like, with my social media, like, my Instagram, my Twitter, and everything like that, it's always Miss Hannah 419. And so, but yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering about that with the numbers, because usually on Twitter and social media tags like Instagram, the numbers mean something behind it, and that's very, very interesting. I like it.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, plus it lets you kind of know where that wrestler or performer or whatever they're doing on social media,
Mm-hmm.
And it lets you know where they're from, or at least the type of area. And then, like, if it's a big area, I mean, look at Rey Mysterio in the 619 out in California. Okay, well, where is 619? Have people go look it up. Oh, it's this area. Well, why don't we actually go over here? It creates tourism and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's just lucky because he gets to wear a mask, so he can walk outside and not be like, yeah, no one knows me until he puts the mask on, and then he'll be like, oh,
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? But the 419 area, it's so big. It includes Wood County, part of Hancock County, and Lucas County, and all this. So, like, and here, like, it's so huge, you'll never be able to find me. I guarantee that right now.
Right.
That's the best part about it.
That's awesome. That is. Now, at what age did you get into wrestling? At what age did you get into it? You became a fan.
Oh, I got into it when I was old.
Old.
I mean, I'm older now, but like I got into it like when I was like 26.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I'm 30 now. Hold on, let me see. God, I think it is around like between 24 and 26 because I honestly really don't remember. But I just, long story short, I had a hip injury due from like gymnastics and stuff. And so I just thought I never could tumble and everything like that again because that's what my parents always said. The second you get a major injury, you're done. Your career is done no matter what. And because they kept, my younger sister and I so sheltered, that's what we actually thought that.
Right.
And it wasn't until, I separated from them and, I got my health, all together and like, building my tendons and my muscles and ligaments and all that type of stuff. I realized like, wow, they are lying. They just wanted to stop paying all this money. So when I actually started teaching gymnastics, I told myself, if I get myself to tumble again, I am going to go after what I wanted to do ever since I was little. I'm going to go and at least try pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say I was going to go and do it professionally now. I just wanted to try it because that way I could never say, oh man, well, I wish I would have, or I wish I could have.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when I started tumbling again, I was like, that's it. All right. Okay, let's go. Go find a school and stuff. And so I just looked up online for a couple of schools, and I just happened to fall on top of Ohio Valley Wrestling, which is, one of the top, pro wrestling schools. I mean, there's a lot of them, don't get me wrong, that are extremely good and all that type of stuff. It's just I happened to find one of the, super awesome ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just can't wait to go to the other ones as well. And I just messaged them. I was like, hey, because I'm such a loser. I was like, hey, I just want to do it. I want to do private lessons because I don't even know if I'm going to like it because I'm a weirdo. Okay. I don't want to hold people back in the class. I don't want to you know what I mean? If I'm super scared, I want them to understand it. Hey, it's just you. So you go when you feel like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
and
definitely.
So, but yeah, and that was really it. I messaged him, and my first teacher ever was Nick Dimesmore, and oh my God, he's a genius. That's all I'm gonna say. He's a genius. He showed me so much stuff in literally a week's time of private lessons that most people don't even get in the first 5 years of their wrestling career. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, oh my God, it was amazing. And then, that's how I got into it.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned Nick Dimesmore. He was, I remember watching him back when he was on WWE. He played Eugene.
Sorry, I love character stuff. So when you said when he played Eugene, I'm just like, yes.
Yeah.
I miss that character so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember watching that. He was Eric Bischoff's nephew that Eric Bischoff had to watch.
Oh, yeah. And, I don't understand why, I understand some people might think that's, offensive or whatever, but honestly, he does so much stuff for their community.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, exactly. And it's not like they don't know. I mean, maybe some of them don't, but you know what I mean?
Right.
And that was really cool of him to do that. Now, honestly, is that what he probably originally thought, especially back in the Attitude Era and stuff like that? No. But what he did with that character, it amazes me. And do you realize, how many fans there are that, or, have family that are like that, or, or are like that or something, and that gives them something to look at. You know what I mean? And they're like, wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now, obviously, don't get me wrong. Still in the Attitude Era, there were probably things then they can't do now or whatever, which, all right, I get it. But don't get me wrong. There were other, hits and pops and stuff where it made him look good, and people got behind him.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely did.
Also had other characters as well, and him and doing the Midwest Pro Wrestling, oh my God, he's just amazing. Just amazing.
He is. I remember listening to Jim Cornette when he was talking about OVW, and he was talking about the talent, the ruthless aggression talent with Shelton Benjamin, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Randy Orton, and Batista. And of course, Nick was in there because he was there, and he said he's such a great in the ring and stuff. How was it learning from him? What did you take from him that you use today in the ring?
Less is more.
Less is good. I like it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, no. And but not only just that, psychology. He at first, because I was so scared, because I was just because I'm with my gymnastics and cheerleading background, you only fall. Okay, if you do have to fall, it's tuck and roll. It doesn't matter if it's forward, sideways, or backwards. That's all it is.
Right.
So, or you land on your feet, or you land on your hands, and that is it. There is no landing on your back, no landing on your face, no landing on and how to do it properly. You know what I mean? There was none of that. And that was 20 some odd years of training for that, and me even training other students that. I'm just like, so trying to separate that was hard. But he laughed, though. He laughed. He thought it was the most funniest thing ever. My first back bump was such a joke. Oh, my God. Like, he just kind of stood there and was just like, okay, why don't you do it again? Like, I'm just like, okay. And so it was seriously the most thing ever. It was so funny. And then after, like, you know, the first couple of lessons, you know, before the week was over, you know, then we started actually, like, talking, and he was talking about, you know, stories and, you know, just like just exactly what other wrestlers say about, like, you know, when you're doing road trips and stuff like that, and you hear about these stories. Well, I just happened to get them during these lessons, and it was just so awesome and amazing with all the knowledge. Like, he just threw so much stuff at me, and I honestly didn't realize how much stuff I learned until I got onto the indie scene. Then I was like, wow.
Oh, I bet. I can or can't imagine. Only.
I mean, there's reasons why I don't go to other, you know, there's reasons why I don't go to other certain promotions anymore is because, you know, I want, you know, to be reputable. I want to learn. I want to keep going. You know what I mean? And this is for, you know, to keep the business alive, to keep, you know, I got a passion for it. You know what I'm saying? And people in pro wrestling, you know, we all have passions for it. You know what I mean? It's just, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just putting your time in the business. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Now, what promotions have you wrestled at? Where have you been around? What promotions?
Well, Saturday I was just on. I did my debut for Premier Championship Wrestling out in Cleveland, Ohio, which they usually perform out of Turner's Hall. Great. They were awesome. Oh my God, ring was wonderful. Yeah, you gotta love places like that.
Right.
I've worked for like NWA Midwest, but that's like in Ohio. It's like a smaller promotion. But Bobby Fulton's Big Time Championship Wrestling. I'm actually their Queen of the Ring Championship right now.
Nice.
I've wrestled for OVW, obviously. I've wrestled for FTC, WTF, Resistance. I've wrestled. God, there's just so many. NOW. Oh my God, Mega Championship Wrestling. I mean, it's been a while. I'd love to go back, but who else? God, I need like a list of it, and like, I did a few things, or I did one thing with Shimmer, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Pro Wrestling 2.0. How can I forget about them? They were like my school. They were my school when I was down in Orlando. Alex Porto is really good too.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, being in all these promotions and stuff, and going around and wrestling. Now, when you first after you did your training and you hit the indies, what was the first match you had on the indies, and what was that like? And what was the feeling and the animosity going into your first match and performing in front of a crowd?
Well, let's just say I had it a little different. And honestly, I think most, or I shouldn't say most, you know, I'm going to say a good half. A good half of the women, this tends to happen, okay? Mm-hmm. You go and you train, and you just get a little bit good, and then all of a sudden, like, just randomly a girl can't make it to a show, so they just need someone to get in there, and then you just hurry up and you get in the show. You're still doing your training, but then every once in a while you're doing, like, these shows. That's kind of what happened with me. Now, I did shows for OVW before I actually got onto the indie scene, you know, for, like, the beginner showcases and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was familiar with doing a show, but not necessarily on the indie scene. And so when I actually got to branch out and I did my first one, I was actually at a show, and I was with who was I with? Ray Lynn and Dylan Bostic. It was so cool too, because they're OVW graduates. You know, and
Yeah.
so I was like, oh my God, like, and I'm just thinking to myself, okay, as long as I stick with them and I like, you know, and I talk with them and I listen to them, you know, like obviously they're going to make sense. I'm familiar with the training and stuff. They can help me if I ever get, you know, whatever.
Right.
Well, the girl I was wrestling was not, you know, didn't wrestle at, or like, I don't know if she just didn't wrestle for long or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay. So I call the match, and we go, and put it this way. Oh, my God. I was supposed to be the heel, but yet why was she trying to do, like, these heel things? It didn't make any sense at all. I was just so mad. And, you know, and I just hurried up and finished it. I get to the back, and I'm just so mad. And I'm like, what in the world was that? Actually, I cursed a lot, but I was like, what was that? and Dylan and Ray go, welcome to the Indies. It was awesome. It was kind of like, you know, hey, you know, yeah, OVW spoiled you, and now that you're on the real world now. You graduated, you know, school,
Yeah.
so now you're, you know, doing, you know, this out in the real world, and guess what, honey? It's not no sunshines and rainbows. And so, yeah.
That's great, man. That is. Now, with you being on the Indies and making a name for yourself on the Indies, that eventually led to having a match on Monday Night Raw against Bayley. How did that come about, and what was the feeling like being backstage at a WWE Monday Night Raw, and how was the talent in the back? How was the atmosphere, and how was everything with that?
Oh my God, that happened so long ago. 2 years ago?
Yeah.
3?
2016?
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, 2
And
years
then like half before that, I was a Rosebud.
Oh,
God,
yeah.
No, that one was my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, well, I shouldn't say that's my favorite, but like,
yeah.
You know, it's a lot of fun. You know, you go ahead and, you know, they invite you, and you know, obviously it'd be dumb to turn it down.
Yeah.
So you know, you go, and you know, you go to the back. You know, it's just like any other promotion. It's a lot bigger, and there's a lot more people and a lot more different job titles and stuff.
Right.
And as long as you understand, you know, where you go, what you do, and everything like that, and you just treat everyone like they're normal, like, come on now, like, we're all women, we all get Aunt Flo that comes to town, and all dudes, you know, they all have their problems with, you know, different sizes and stuff,
Yeah.
and what they're always thinking, they're all insecure, so, like, come on now, I don't care how big or small you are, we're all the same, come on, let's go wrestle, let's go have some fun, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but yeah, no, everyone was extremely nice and kind. If you know, I had some of the girls come up to me, and we would talk a little bit, you know, just like in the lunch area, and he gave me some advice and everything like that. And then I did, you know, my match, and which was it was totally random because you know, you're obviously not told, you know, ahead of time and all this other type of stuff, you know, because you know, in case, you know, idiots in the back doing social media and stuff.
Uh-huh.
If you notice, I never put that type of stuff on. I'm just like, here, I'm at the show. Here, I'm here. Just, if you want to come see me, come see me. You know what I mean? I'm not going to force it on you.
Yeah.
You know? But if you do come see me, you know, I'm awesome. Well, I shouldn't say I'm awesome. I'm an awesome person. Like, I'm really cool. So, you know, and I'm a cool person to hang out with and talk with, you know?
Yeah,
so
you seem like
come
it.
to the show, do that. I'll talk to you. I don't care. You know?
Right. You seem like it. You seem like it. You have a really good outgoing personality, and you seem really fun. And I did happen to check out when you went live a couple times when you were bartending. It was a few weeks ago. Yeah. I seen you on there. It looked like you were having
with
fun.
me and DJ Krusty. Gosh, yeah, we had the most awesome time ever. That's all we do. Like, even I don't care if it's dead. I don't care if it's busy as heck and I'm running around with my head cut off, which that has happened a few times. But you know what? As long as I get everyone's drink orders and we're listening to music and, you know, and everyone's just having a ball, that's all I care about. And that's one thing about, you know, a lot of my customers and stuff. They all know if I got to be your mom, I'm not going to serve you anymore. I'm sorry. If I have to go and tell you, hey, you need to slow down, or hey, you're getting way too, like, you know, like you look like you're about to puke or something. No, go outside. Like, no. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that. That is not my responsibility. My responsibility is to be a bartender. If I got to be your mom, no, get out. You know what I mean? And everyone knows that. And so everyone at my bar, when they all drink and stuff, they're all having fun and having a good time. And, you know, and you know, by the end of the night, you know, at least one of them is always sober enough to drive because they didn't drink that much. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not knocking people who do drink that much. Trust me. I've had to go and pour shots of, you know, 6 fireballs, and then they're all doing it 4 times in a row. You know what I mean? And it's like I literally poured it all out, you know? But after those 4 shots, then they just only had a beer afterwards because they knew their limit. You know what I mean?
Right.
They got, you know, they're having an awesome time, dancing, doing all this and that, but not to where anyone's going to get angry and all that other type of stuff.
Right. Now, when you were in Orlando, when you lived in Orlando, did you bartend down there as well?
No, actually, no, I didn't because only because when I went down there, I was focused more on my wrestling. And, you know, went to school for a while, and then randomly, my girl Elaine Simon, she's Derby doll, good wrestler, and she just said, "Hey, you want to come work for Universal?" And I looked at her and I was like, "Is the pay good?" And she goes, "It's good." I'm like, "All right, well, let's go then." Which is so because, like, I got to dress how I always wanted to dress. Like, I like dressing all nice and cute and in skirts and heels and having hair and just, like, you know, doing, you know, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Now, when you bartend, you know, you got to watch what you wear because you're going to get beer on you. You're going to get food on you. You're going to get dirty. You know what I mean? But I don't want to go to the bar and looking all gross. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to wear heels when it's busy as heck and I'm pulling, you know, $2,000 in an hour. You know what I mean? Like, I can't know.
Yeah.
That's impossible. So I loved it. I got to work the phones and I'm just like, you know, I think, what did I do? Oh, I worked at the call center for Universal while I was, wrestling and stuff, which was totally cool because not only when I would get to go wrestle and stuff, I could go to Universal anytime I wanted because all I had to do was take my badge. So it was like the best vacation ever was a little bit of work.
Oh, that's even better. That's even better right there,
yeah,
being right next to it. Yeah. That is. Now, I noticed on your social media when I was looking up looking into you, and I was looking at your social media on Facebook, I noticed there's one picture of you standing below an Impact Wrestling sign right there where they used to shoot Impact at. Now, did you attend that and go to any Impact while you were there at the time?
Yeah, this was when Taya was coming over from Lucha to Impact, so it's probably what happened a year ago or something like that. Yeah, it happened like in September or August or something like that. What it was is I just did, you know, a small match with Rosemary. I was a Hannah Harper.
Hannah Harper.
I told them, yeah, because they couldn't pronounce my name Hannah, and they looked at my last name and they're just like, yeah, no. Like, we can't pronounce it. It's too German. Just so you hear you're this. I'm like, all right, you know, hey, I'm cool with it.
Hannah Harper. You're like, I don't care. I don't care what name you give me, as long as I'm on Impact, doing a match, doing my spot, and I'm happy.
I was just, you know, I even, you know, was even what's it called? Just invited to go ahead and do it because, you know, I wrestled Rosemary before. At a WTF. I think they're like in Indiana or Illinois or something. And but yeah, no, I wrestled her before, so I was excited, and I already did the you know, the match with Bayley. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, you know, like I want to, you know, keep going and, like, you know, learn as much as I can and stuff. And it was awesome.
Right.
I mean, it was just a little spot, but, you know, hey, I'm the most humble, laid back person ever, and I'll do, like, you know, I'm just one of those cool people. You look at me, you're either going to laugh at me or you're going to laugh with me or, you know, you're going to have a good time.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
That's how I try to do it. That's why I always like doing the Hookah Haka song or whatever it's called. It's from Dirty Dancing. You know, the part where the older sister, she's practicing her Hawaiian song.
Oh, yeah.
My God. I love that song so much. I think it's so hilarious. And then I'll even like do the dance like when it's dead, and everyone will look at me like I'm either crazy or like, what am I on? Like, no, I just drink Mountain Dew, and I try to keep the energy up. That way, everyone is having a good time, and that's why we always have such a great time.
Right. That's awesome. That is, yeah. I remember watching that because when I was a kid, my stepmother, she was totally into Dirty Dancing when it came out, and she wore the VHS tape out of Dirty Dancing, and then we basically almost had to make sure that HBO was not on the TV somehow with that movie playing, because she wore it out. My stepbrothers and my father, we just got to the point where it was like, enough's enough. I mean, it's a good movie, it's a good classic, but that part right there when she's singing the Hawaiian song, that's hilarious there. And I mean, that brings back some memories, just with growing up and watching my stepmother get into it and stuff. She even bought the vinyl. She even went as far as got the vinyl for the album. I mean, from, off the movie, all the music and everything. So.
Hey, so I totally did not hear any of that because I totally forgot my Bluetooth was on, and my boyfriend started his car, and my phone got connected to his car, and I'm like, hello, and so I just checked it, so I thought that was kind of
Don't you love...
That won't happen because he's about to leave.
Don't you love technology? That's weird. I'm getting broadcast to someone else's car. I'm sitting there talking, they're sitting there driving. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm taking over. You're in a Transformer car. Autobots, transform.
You gotta love this stuff.
Just imagine that shit. Just imagine that. I'll tell you what's crazy. Me and my wife last night, we finally watched that Netflix original that everyone's been talking about on social media. We finally watched The Bird Box. Have you seen that yet?
Nope, I don't do anything that people say, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. Nope, no, I'm not.
I have to say,
whatever this is. Plus, like, I don't do any of that, like, trending stuff. I do me. Now, if there's anything sparkly that trends, okay, I'll do that because, I'm bougie and I love anything that sparkles.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, anything besides that, if it's scary, if it doesn't, I try to focus my energy on stuff in the real world that we really need to care about. You know what I mean? Like, we all need to be going to our town hall meetings, understand what laws are being passed, taxes that are being done. There's stuff going on in the world. Like, there's real stuff we should all be going viral about instead of, some of the entertainment stuff, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, totally. It totally does.
But I'm guessing it's a good movie since everyone watches it. I mean, Sandra Bullock is an awesome actress. I'm not going to take that away from her. I mean, she is awesome. I'm not going to lie. My favorite movie with her is Miss Congeniality.
Miss Congeniality, yeah. I loved...
Beauty Queens, duh. Sparkles, you got to love it. And William Shatner, duh.
William Shatner, I know. William Shatner did so great in that movie, and Sandra Bullock did. I love the movies that she was in, just growing up watching movies that she was in, especially like Speed. That was one of my favorites. The Net, that was another.
Yeah, to see that, nope. None of those type of movies I never got interested in. I was just like, huh. Plus, I thought it was cool, a woman FBI agent, especially at that time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, where you don't really hear a lot about, women agents or anything like that, especially with, big cases in the news and everything like that. They always just say, oh, the FBI or this guy FBI agent caught so-and-so or whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So in a movie, seeing a woman do that, I mean, yeah, they made her looking like, all like gross and stuff like that. But they also show that you can be a hard-working, badass woman that could, pull a gun out from your garter and just go bam, 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 and, killing all the bad guys and stuff and still look good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm up for. I want everyone to be their best. You know what I mean? But some people don't get that.
Yeah. Well, I do like one of my other favorite movies with her in it. It's actually my daughter's favorite movie is the Minion movie where she voices the villain. She did so fantastic on that because it's just fun and entertaining, And that's one of the things my daughter loves is the Minions. She's a year old.
Oh,
And
yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've never seen Minions either, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she voiced the villain for the Minion movie. So that was awesome. Now, have you heard everything with the rumblings going around with All Elite Wrestling and what they're going to do or what they plan on doing? There's so much stuff out there right now about this new wrestling organization. You know, it's backed by Cody Rhodes and Nick, the Young Bucks. And how do you feel about a promotion like that making a lot of noise with starting up and with a person like Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks backing it? Because All In, that was a success in Chicago. That was. And having this new wrestling organization show up and is going to cause some waves, or however you want to put it. What's your feelings and what's your thoughts on that?
Well, put it this way. I'm a business type woman. So I'm going to say this. I don't believe anything until I see it or I see it in writing. Okay, or legal, form documents. That's number one. So Whatever people are saying, they can go ahead and say, I don't care. What I see and what they show and what they prove, that is a whole nother different story. And honestly, I really do think that the more the better, because if there's more, that means there's competition. If there's competition, that means there's going to be more of a demand. If there's more of a demand, that means it's going to be better on the wrestlers. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm all for promotions that are about actually taking care of their wrestlers. I mean, we all been to those, shows where you're looking at it and you're just like, what? There's only 10 people in the crowd and somehow you go, what? No. And then they're doing all this crazy stuff for little to nothing. No, you are an entertainer. You know what I mean? We are pro wrestlers. You got to, make your money, boo-boo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if they're going to go and create another promotion that is going to do nothing but better us, let's go. But again, I'm one of those people where, show me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is business. You know what I mean? Business is not just all, because good businesses are never built on just talk.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's about action. What actions are they going to take? And I want to see what type of actions they're going to take. And, now, do I think that, it might I don't know, WWE might actually do something about it? And maybe they might, I don't really know. I don't know if they'll just keep trying to buy out, wrestlers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Which, they do have the power to do that. But, at the same time, when we've got all this competition, then all these wrestlers would be like, I just read your contract. Well, this promotion is actually either doing, just the same or slightly better, or it might be slightly under, but I've got more home time. You know what I mean? Or I've got, or I've got more creative to where I can actually go to other promotions while I've got the contract with, them and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's all like that, that's just great for us. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's
more promotions, the better, and more good promotions, obviously, the better.
Exactly. It's an exciting time right now for me to be a fan of pro wrestling right now, where it's going and what's going to be happening, and I'm looking forward to see what All Elite Wrestling does, especially with Cody Rhodes. I mean, he's the son of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and Dusty Rhodes, one of the top best promo and business heads in wrestling, or was in wrestling. And Cody has that. Cody has that. Cody has that, and Cody proved that with All In, that if he wanted to do something with his own promotion, he can do it. And I'm looking forward to it, and I totally agree with you. And you couldn't have said it much better right there, Hannah. You couldn't have said it much better. Totally. Competition. As a fan, I like to see more competition out there. I like to see a promotion like WWE, step it up with the talent they have, because with a lot of complaints, a lot of stuff I see on Twitter, I try to stay off Twitter nowadays, but I have to with promoting what I do. But I do run across those tweets that, it's like you have one person, badmouth and what the current product is. You have another person praising it, and you got this person hating that person for praising this, and then you got this, and just so much.
This is
what
I
I'm talking
about people. Don't we understand we live in America?
Yeah.
Like, no. Like, if you don't like watching it, change it. There are so many other wrestling promotions that have TV programs that you can watch, let alone they are on the internet, they are on YouTube, these people just need to relax. They need to understand that WWE, this is what they're going for. They are going for the family stuff, the PG. They are talking about money. They are doing business. Now, granted, are they doing the business that's more towards, just like where fathers and moms and kids can actually watch, and and the whole family can watch? Yeah. But are there other? Oh my goodness, I can't even talk today right now. But are there other promotions that do other stuff that other people might like? Yeah, if you're into the hardcore, blood, guts, and gore and all that other type of stuff, go watch CZW. If you want to see, just awesome craziness, good wrestling and high spots and all this, you watch Ring of Honor. If you want to go and just watch great wrestling and stuff like that, you watch MLW. You watch, the TNT Pro, Tried and True. You watch NWA. Yeah, there are so many. So people just need to stop, WWE needs to do this, or so-and-so needs to do this, or so-and-so needs to... No, it's not going to happen. You just, if you want to start doing that, why don't you go to college, become a creative writer, get into pro wrestling, understand pro wrestling, and then apply for a job at WWE. Don't sit and complain on Twitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God, there is so much other stuff in life that is so much more important than complaining about a show that is on national television that is making so many people so much money, let alone how many homes is it making it happy just by, hey guys, wrestling's on, oh, let's go watch Charlotte, oh, let's go watch Becky Lynch, oh, let's go watch John Cena, let's go watch, all this, oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. That's fine, man. Wow. That was great, man. You just cut, I think you cut one of the fantastic promos I've heard. You cut a promo. I love it.
I'm saying, I'm not dogging people's opinions. No. I totally get it. There's stuff that I don't like, and then there's stuff that I do like.
Right.
But guess what? Am I going to go and complain about that? No, that's what they do. And guess what? It's America. So guess what? I'm going to change the channel. I'm not going to say that, oh, this promotion stinks because they do this, or this promotion is dumb because no. If that is their style, that is them. And guess what? Good for them. If they're making money doing what they're doing, hey, more power to you, okay? Then maybe, maybe I should open my mind more, and maybe you'll actually watch and understand. Maybe talk to those wrestlers that usually do those type of shows and see what their point of view is, and vice versa.
Right. I get it. I do. I I totally catch your breath there for a minute.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I've given you a platform to express yourself, and that's all good. That's what you're here for. That's what you're here for. Have a good conversation and just express yourself.
It's me a job to do exactly what he says, and I'm still getting yelled at for doing exactly what he told me to do, but I'm still getting paid. Guess what? I'm just going to do it. You think I'm going to go and complain, or, and complain about, oh, people on Twitter are saying this and this and that? No.
Yeah.
No. Who signs my paycheck? Exactly. That's exactly who I'm going to be listening to, and I do not care.
I believe that the smarks that you see online and behind the keyboards ruin it for a lot of the fans, and that disturbs me. I've not kept up with WWE much because of the way things are going, so I don't get on there and I complain about it.
I don't know why people need to get butthurt on social media. What do we do before the internet? Hello, I'm 31 years old. I remember when Facebook first came out, and it was nothing. You know what I mean? What in the world is So people just started talking, and they're like, "Oh my God, more than one person can see." And I'm like, "Well, either back in the day, we still do it now. People either talk behind their backs or they talk to your face.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Either or, other people are going to hear about it. Like, who cares?"
God. Yeah, I know. Well, Hannah, I got a few more years on you. I remember when it was 56K modem. I remember times before way
printed at Walmart or Walgreens or Rite Aid, actually. And then you had to scan it into your scanner. Then scanners back in the day cost what, like $500?
Yeah,
and
technology.
They didn't come out that good, and it always took forever. And it would be like a block. Like, oh my God.
I remember, Hannah, when back in high school, when Windows 95, when that came out, everyone was all jumping for joy about Windows 95. And then my senior year in high school, Windows 98, when that came out, and that was something. And then like the pixelations on webcams and then like the audio quality on microphones and stuff for old PCs, that right there, man, I was like, shit. I thought that was something. And then as years went on with the technology jump, it just amazes me and stuff. And it just shows nowadays how much technology and how much like the world can feel small now. Because growing up, looking at like what I read in high school about Europe and other countries, I was like, wow, that's a long, far, far away. Now you jump on a computer or a device today, and bam, you can look at it right there. You don't have to leave your house. You want to
know something hilarious? Have you seen the meme of the floppy disk, and someone put in quotes? So my 8-year-old goes, "Oh look, did you 3D print the save icon?" And I was just like, oh my gosh, I never connected that ever. Using the floppy disk is the save icon. I'm seriously so damn dumb. I laughed so hard when I seen that. I was like, oh my God, how did I never put this together ever? And then number two, how does an 8-year-old not know what a floppy disk is? I remember when it started getting like big. Now when you had to go to school, you had to have a floppy disk, a minimum of, I think it was no, it wasn't even that. Because they were megabytes. They weren't even gigabytes. They were megabytes.
I know, megabytes. I think, I could be wrong about this. I think around the end of my middle school and the high school, I think that's when gigabytes started coming out, and people are all like, wow, gigabytes. And then
it's bigger.
Yeah, it's bigger. Now we're in like terabytes, and I think we're over terabytes now. We're even like past that now.
Oh, yeah, I think we are. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've actually had to go and build a computer. I probably don't know what, I know that, with the i5 and the i7, the i-core, if I looked at it, I'm totally just, drawing a blank right now, but I know the i7 is still, probably one of the most powerful, processors, or motherboards, or, no, processors. Yeah, seriously, it's been 10 years since I've built a computer. That's bad.
Yeah, I took a semester of college back in 2011 on computer hardware, A+ computer hardware, and I tried to go as far as getting my certification, and that fell through because the test kind of screws you. It kind of fucks you on it because they throw in right there when you're about to take it. It's like, we threw in this one question here. It won't count against your score. Bullshit. It counted against my score. I'm looking at this. I'm like, I hit everything right. They're like, and they didn't even tell you which ones you got wrong. And it was like, you failed.
Yeah.
It's like, thank you. It's like $200. Thank you. I was like, really?
Wow.
I was like, so that's how you're funding your college right there. You're taking people's money. I was like, that's bullshit.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what, and I didn't even do that. I just did it on, I looked up on YouTube because, seriously, this was when The Sims 3 came out, and this was probably, 15 years ago? Oh, my gosh, because and I had The Sims 2, and I loved that and everything. But I didn't realize how old The Sims 2 was and how new computers can easily do The Sims 2 no problem because it's got, plenty of RAM and all that other, stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, when I got The Sims 3, I was like, whoa, hold up. Like, the specs, hold up. Like, I don't know what all this stuff is.
Yeah.
And so I asked the Walmart computer guy or whatever, and he's just like, yeah, no, your computer won't do that. You need to go ahead and you do this, this, and this. And I was like, well, I don't want to buy, this, what else can I do? And he goes, well, you can go ahead and look up on the internet and look up how to, change your processor and change your graphics card and your RAM and all that other type of stuff and your power supply.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, okay. Let me shut the door all the way. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so I go and I look this stuff up, but I'm like, all I got to do is unplug this and plug that? What? Okay. And then so I just ended up getting a really good graphics card, a power supply, and added more RAM. Oh, my God, it worked awesome. Loved it. And now it's on its last leg. There's no way it could do The Sims 4. It's so, it's old.
That reminds me of...
Thank you.
It reminds me of back when PlayStation, I believe it was PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 came out, and that's when the high def thing, it was like high definition, and flat screens were really taking off. And I remember paying for my first 32-inch flat screen TV. I ended up spending it was like $500-$600, and the fucker lasted 3 months, and it shit on me. But back then, I remember going to a game store when I was really playing video games, and I went into one of these game stores. I like going into the game stores like GameStop and then listen to the employees talk to the customers, because usually the guy behind the counter don't know jack shit about what they're talking about. Yep. That's kind of people. So what happened was this father came in, I guess was going to get his son or daughter a Xbox 360, and the guy behind the counter was explaining, well, you're going to need, if you're getting a 360, you need this, and you need what kind of TV do you have? And he was like, it was at the time a standard tube TV that had the audio video stuff. Oh, no, you need to get a flat screen TV at this size and this kind, and you need to use this it's the HDMI and everything, because it won't look good on your TV. And so he convinced. Oh yeah, I know. I had an Xbox 360, and I had to get the adapter to go into the 3 colored plug things with the video, the left audio and the right audio, or whatever it was. Yeah, and he convinced the father, that he needed to go out and buy a TV. So he ended up buying an Xbox 360, and he told him where to go to buy a TV. And when he left, I looked at the guy, I said, you just convinced that guy to buy a TV. I just overheard your conversation. He's like, yeah, he needs one to play an Xbox 360. I said, no, he don't. Oh, yeah, he does. I said, my little brother has an Xbox 360. He has an old tube TV from 90-something that has the 1990 that has the audio video jacks. Or you can still put Windex on the front of the TV, and it's not going to ruin it because it was glass. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? And I mentioned this to this guy, and he looked at me like I was crazy. And he was like, well, you're supposed to have you need a flat. I said, no, you don't. I said, my brother could play his TV and look at it clear as day. You don't need a high-def TV. I said, what the hell are you doing? I went off on the guy. I went off on him, and I said, I was going to buy these games, but here. I said, stick them up your ass, and I left. Yeah. That pissed me off, man. Oh, yeah. You know? No, man. Oh, my God. I remember playing my PlayStation 1 on, when portable TVs started getting, bigger. Instead of, the super small ones, they started getting bigger, and that was when they slowly got cheaper. Yeah. And it had a video cassette player in it.
And so I would literally take that TV around the house and plug in my PlayStation stuff because I wasn't allowed to have it upstairs. But I couldn't plug it in to the bigger TVs and stuff because I would always move it and I would never move it back. And so my parents got mad at me for it. So yeah, and I'd be playing either at the kitchen table or I'd go into the library or I'd go into the living room like, oh my gosh.
Good times, huh? Good times.
God, we're old.
I know.
So it's funny. It really isn't that long ago. I mean, come on now. If people in our 30s have no idea what a tube TV is, oh my God, no.
I know. I did mention that I was up there with your age or a little bit older. I'm 40. So
that's all right. I'm 31. 31 and proud. I still feel like I'm 25.
I know.
Yeah.
Young at
I
heart.
might look like 35, but, I feel 25.
Yeah. Young at heart. What keeps me young is my daughter, my 1-year-old daughter. Watching her run around and watching her get into things and discover things is just fantastic. And I love the fact that her discovering stuff about the world and her environment around her. And that's why I had to childproof every damn thing in the house. Tell you something crazy.
You planning on having any more?
Well, me and the wife's talked about it, and the thought has crossed our mind many a times about having another one, and we wouldn't mind having another one with her having a brother or sister. I mean, that's not off the table. That's definitely not off the table.
See, no, that's good. No, see, I like hearing about like when people when they have children at an older age and stuff, because it's defying what what's it called?
I know what you're talking about.
Social standard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like you can still be in your 30s and be what you want to be, and then once you're in your 40s, you can go ahead and give birth and have your first child or your second or fifth or 10th, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. You definitely can.
Yeah, I don't have any kids. I'm planning on waiting.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is. Now, what upcoming events can we and where will we find Hannah at?
Oh yeah, no, I'll be at Premier Championship Wrestling February. Hold on, I got the poster right here.
Nice.
What? It's Premier Championship Wrestling, at Turner's Hall in Cleveland, Ohio, February 2nd. Bell time's at 7, doors open at 6. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice. That is awesome.
I can't wait. Yeah, no, I pinned Zoe Sky, so I was just like, yeah, what? I was doing a tag team with Thunder Kitty this past Saturday. It was Thunder Kitty and I versus Zoe Sky and Jocelyn Navarro. And yeah, no. We had to do what we had to do. We got it.
That's awesome. That is. Do you have any words against your opponent this Saturday?
This Saturday?
Or not this
no,
Saturday?
it was last
Saturday. Okay. Sorry. You cut out there. No,
yeah. No. Put it this way. Well, for the next show, because I don't know who I'll be wrestling yet.
Oh.
I'm gonna put it this way. I'm gonna start making my name in Cleveland. Tell you that right now.
Nice. Someone in the
everywhere.
Someone in the chat here viewing the live stream right now on Twitch here on Podcast City Network on Twitch mention Game Changer Wrestling and Premier Championship Wrestling. Yep. Mm-hmm. I believe so. I'm trying to go back through here. Yep. Yeah, that is awesome. And one last question before we wrap this up. Where can people find you on social media?
It's MISSHANNAH419 on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Nice. I want to thank you.
It's simple.
Represent 419, huh?
419.
You got to.
Gotta love Ohio.
You got to.
Weather in Florida.
Yeah. I want to thank you
It's Florida, but I'll be that Ohio girl for life.
Nice. Nice. I can't wait to see what you do and your body of work and everything that you do in on the wrestling scene, the indie wrestling scene, and I wish you the best in everything that you do.
Oh, yeah, no, thank you. Well, thanks for having me on. It was awesome.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right. Have a good one, and we'll keep in touch.
All right, perfect. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Anna Hartkopf, pro wrestler. Good conversation had with her. I love chatting with her, and I want to thank everyone viewing the live stream today. This is a different time for what I do my podcast on here on the Everett Lee Show. I usually do it on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. here on Podcast Network Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Podcast City Network. And before I close, I want to give a shout out to supporters of Podcast City Network. I want to give a shout out to City Limits Taproom in DeLand, Florida, home of Draft Day and host of Podcast City Network's 1-year anniversary. Head over to City Limits Taproom in DeLand, Florida for a wide selection of brew on tap, food menu. The grilled cheese is excellent. Indoor and outdoor sporting TV, stage out back for live events, and much, much more at City Limits Taproom in DeLand, Florida. Atlantic Sound Records in Daytona Beach off International Boulevard in Daytona. Be sure to stop by there if you're looking for your vinyl, CD, or cassette of your favorite artist. They may have it, so hit them up on Facebook, Atlantic Sound Records, and SportsSanityCustoms.com. Looking for a Podcast City Network t-shirt, hit them up at SportsSanityCustoms.com, and they will hook you up with that Podcast City Network t-shirt. And Kentucky Zone Wrestling, owner JJ McGuire of Kentucky Zone Wrestling brings you talent each and every month on Saturdays, on every first and second Saturdays of each month. Kentucky Zone Wrestling knocks it out with the talent available, much, much more. And you can check more of this all out at podcastcity.net. Head over to podcastcity.net for the latest content, podcasts, and much, much more. Hit up the sponsor tab for the sponsors mentioned, all brought to you by podcastcity.net. And one final announcement that Podcast City Network will have their 1-year anniversary on January 26th from 2 p.m. to 12 a.m. Live music with the Craig Thompson Project. Food, drink specials, prize giveaway, huge announcements, and live recorded podcast with shows such as The Everett Lee Show, ELS Uncut, The Super Radio Brothers, Second Round's Florida Edition, Deathmatch Russell Podcast, and the Phoenix Gate Podcast. All will be in attendance at the Podcast City Network 1-year anniversary. And that's not all. We will have special guests. He is the true master of wrestling ring music. You've heard his tunes throughout the years. He's written great tunes such as Dusty Rhodes, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Junkyard Dog, Coco Beware, Demolition, and Hulk Hogan, and much, much more. The true master of wrestling ring music, Hurricane JJ McGuire, will be in attendance at Podcast City Network's 1-year anniversary on January 26th from 2 p.m. to 12 a.m. Please, if you're in the area, please stop by. And if you plan on traveling to Florida, stop by and check out and meet a living legend such as JJ McGuire, or should I say Hurricane JJ McGuire. And this is all brought to you by Podcast City Network around podcastcity.net. Well, I want to thank my guest today, Anna Hartkopf, for coming on. And I think that is it. Give a shout out, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today on the Everett Lee Show. I will see you again next week with all new episode of the Everett Lee Show. Peace.